Hi and welcome to my channel. It's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147. Now I have taken the time to switch over some of these ABs in the squares that I'd already done. So I have switched them over to the new ones, and I have also changed these ABs to the darker one. I think I'm liking the sparkle in the tree more. So I've caught up with that. So let's see what square, oh, I hit the wrong thing. Let's see what square we are doing for today. We're going for 14. So we're going up here. So we're actually going to get some connections. But I think I've left my little clips. I've got one here. Let's see if we can get by with one. If not, I took this into the conservatory to do the next section. And no, that's already moving. What have I got in here? Just to save me having to go and get that out and stop the recording and all that sort of stuff. We'll go with this. So we're on section 14. So we've ended up with some connectors, but that's the way it goes. I've got my tray. I have got today's pen. Now this was gifted to me by Cindy, but this is from Bella's diamond painting pens. I think they're based in Texas. They're definitely based in the States though. So I will pop a link to her Facebook group down below. I think I can get to all of them up there. So what have we got first? Shall I go for the O? Let's go for the O because we have most of that up there. I was kind of tempted to start with this N down here, but actually yes, I'm going to do it a little bit different this time. I'm going to start with these darker ones and do the little branches. So I'm going to start with N. And let's tip that in, and then let's see where this takes us. I do have a funny join corner, but that's just due to the way that the last couple of squares have gone and where I've been the closest to. But that's okay because it all joins up in the end, and that, at the end of the day, is the main aim of the game, is for it to be all done by the end of June. Now, following on from some of the questions yesterday or the day before about people asking for a slightly smaller tray, hubby has had a little bit of a tinker with that, and we are hoping to sort of test a smaller tray and get a test print and stuff done. Looks rather cute, I must say. We've not got one fully printed yet at the time I'm filming this, but the design size does look quite cute. Everybody in the house keeps saying how small it is, but I forget that many people have only worked with trays in kits. So therefore, they're not actually used to a bigger tray quite often when they get one of our trays, whereas I'm very used to using a bigger tray all the time. So we'll see how it goes. There's no estimated date for anything for it. It all depends. We still need to try and get some stock of normal size, well, our size trays. But I'll keep you all updated on how that goes. So next I'm going to do some H. And I actually missed a diamond on yesterday's, and I didn't realise until I was sorting out the ABs from further down, but I had actually missed one of them. I think it was down here. I'd missed one of the Y symbol, and I think it's because it was quite dark. So it may benefit for me to be doing the darker ones first and then filling in the gaps may help it be a little bit easier for me to see. Plus it means the likes of the glow in the dark and the ABs and stuff are something that we add afterwards. I have filled up the wax on this pen, so it's starting to spurt out the edges, but I'll just keep tucking it in as I go along. Get these all to lie flat. I normally just shake until there's enough lay flat that I can just start going. Whereas if I shook for a little bit longer, they'd all lay flat and then I could get going. But sometimes you just want to get a diamond painting and get going. I actually really, considering I haven't, apart from this diamond painting, I haven't done much diamond painting for the last couple of weeks. Especially not, sat on the couch in my comfy position with a brew and with something on in the background. I've sort of not done that for a while. I've been too busy at work during the day and in the shop in the evening. I've just not had anywhere near as much time to diamond paint as I would have liked. That, and because work has been so exhausting, to be honest, when I did have my downtime, I'd just spend an hour just browsing my phone and not doing much else. So to actually take the time, which I know was time for this video to get the ABs and stuff sorted and updated so that you could, going forward, it would be as though I'd had them from the beginning. Even though that was the reason I did it, it was still really enjoyable to sit down and diamond paint. So I am going to make sure that not only am I doing this diamond painting through the month of June, I'm going to try and make sure that every single day, even if it is only half an hour or 20 minutes, I get out my other diamond paintings and actually do some each day. I think I'm going to do it because I've got a custom on the go and I've got a mystery on the go. I do also have my duck, Mr. Charlie Quackers, that I haven't done any of since the last whip and chat. And I of course have my big Minions one, which is currently on pause while I'm doing the customs. So I think I'm gonna pick one of those, possibly the custom at the moment, because it's about halfway done, maybe a little bit more. I actually can't remember. I think I'm gonna, work on that and make myself do a bit of that each day and actually just enjoy the process. And it will probably only take 2 days of doing it and I'll be itching to do more. I think life just got a little bit in the way of it, but it will give me a chance to catch up and get it done so that when the video schedule's back on normal and not this whip and chat, then I'll be able to dekit and kit up the Manhui Rachel will be the next one. 70 colours for that one, which is redonkulous. Really? Redonkulous. Okay, I'm going to do that Y before I forget, and then I am going to do some of the other bitty bits before I do the blocks in the middle. I'm just going to do it the opposite way to the way I've been doing it on the others. I'm going to do all the bits and then I'm going to do all the blocks. Okay, your questions. Where was I up to? Okay, so Pauline has asked for a 30 by 40 diamond painting pick. What size of sheet protectors does she need? If you mean for, if you want like a folio type thing, to put them away in, then the size that I got for that was A3. It's an A3 folio, and you can use that size. Other than that, I don't know what other sizes are sold in countries that don't use A3, A4. So I'm not quite sure, but you could type into Google the size of A3 and then go by then. For a true 30 by 40, you do have to chop a little bit off the side. It is a little bit shorter than 30 centimetres for it to fit into. But if you have a diamond painting that, while it says it's 30 by 40, that includes all this white space around the edge, then it fits in there perfectly fine. So I hope that's answered it. Pauline does also ask, is it easy on your back to do your diamond painting? It is more so since I've been using this easel, which was gifted to me. It has been a lot easier on my back since I've been using that. So if you do find that you get backache or neck ache diamond painting, I highly suggest getting an easel. Part of me would really like to have one of those big drafting tables and stuff, but the only place that would really fit in my conservatory is currently where hubby's desk is, and I sort of can't kick everything of his out of the room. I don't think that's fair. The room is already taken over enough with shop boxes and stuff that's come in that needs sorting and printing, that I don't think it's fair. Plus I use it for work, so I kind of need that desk too. But the easel works perfect for it instead. Absolutely perfect. Okay, letter R, and then let's zoom you in a bit so that you can see I'm doing quite a bit of confetti at the moment, and I know people do like the zoomed in position, so I do try to keep it as a bit of both. Okay, next question. What do you use to cover your diamond painting when you're finished? She uses printer paper with blue tack on the ends to just cover it up. When I've actually finished a diamond painting, so when there's no fear of paper sticking to glue or anything like that, I actually don't cover it with anything. I tend to just roll them up or put them straight into my binder when it's finished, and I don't seem to find that causes too much of a problem. If you do need a way of maybe storing paintings that are nearly finished or quite finished but not fully, and you don't get much time in between, while doing it, so maybe actually completing a diamond painting takes you quite a bit of time and you find that it's picking up bits in between, then the other thing you can do is you can get the likes of a trouser hanger with the clips on, and actually clip it and hang it up rather than laying it flat, and it is less likely to pick up any dust and stuff if it's hung upright. I actually need to get another hanger, and I need to find another place to hang the diamond paintings I'm working on, I think, because I have a few that I tend to work on at once. I am finding, while they're quite often stored on this desk, I quite often find I'm having to move them about, either to film or to pack orders, or if I want to be tidying and sorting stuff out. I find I'm often having to move my diamond paintings from here, there and everywhere. They're currently on the dining room table, and then they'll come back in here, and then they'll go back out there. And I find there's a lot of toing and froing. Whereas I think if I got myself another hanger, trouser hanger, I would be able to just hang them up out the way and deal with them later. Oh, excuse me. Oh, somebody has said orange trays, please. So that is a couple of people that are wanting orange. I have got it on my list now. So orange trays, clear trays, they're both something that I will keep on the list. And once we've got limited editions of, you know, the colours that we are currently have in the house, once we've got through the limited editions of those, then I will order some filament, or indeed if I'm ordering filament anyway and need to make up an order, I'll make sure to put those two colours on there, orange and clear, because at the moment we can get most filaments quite quick and singly, apart from the pink. The pink can be a very hard colour to purchase, and I tend to buy that in bulk. The last time I ordered, I think I ordered 6 6-kilogram rolls. That will make a few hundred trays, but we're going through trays like I don't know what. And then somebody has said, do you do a lilac or a purple tray? So we have got a purple as one of the ones we're going to bring out as a limited edition. So basically for that, what we do is we will print as many trays as we can from the roll. Bear in mind that we do end up with some rejects for each and every roll, just because of the way they print. Sometimes the printers have a moment, or something goes wrong with the print. But we will basically print as many trays as we can out of a roll of filament, and then they'll go up as a limited. So we do have the purple colour as a limited colour, and if and when the whole roll has been fully printed, that's when it will go up on the website, because we won't know exactly how many trays are going to be sellable before then. So yes, purple is already in-house. The filament is already in-house, and that will be one of the ones that we launch. And it may come back again at some point in the future. It's not we're only doing one and never doing it again. However, we do have other requests for colours and other colours in the house, so it may not come round again for a bit once it's been launched. Okay, I'm just checking if there's any more M's. There's quite a few different colours in this section. It's quite bitty. So I'm going to try and get all these bitty ones done first, and hopefully then I won't miss any. Diana says she loves it zoomed in. I'm zoomed in now, if I don't drop my diamonds everywhere. And it forces itself to do a few every day, which is awesome. That is the idea of this, is not, not to overwhelm yourself, not to force yourself into too big a project, but at the same time it is to try and get you guys to take a little bit of time for you each day just to do the hobby that you obviously enjoy, otherwise you wouldn't be here. Have you received a Donna Bass diamond painting pen yet, or base? No, I haven't. I haven't tried that one yet. Maybe if I got myself $1,000 to spend, as was mentioned yesterday, then maybe that would be someplace I would go and have a nosy. Oh, she's placed her order for a logbook and trays. Awesome. And she absolutely loves the trays. That is so nice to hear. Thank you. I do really like to hear your guys' thoughts on the trays and how they work for you and how they work when you're actually diamond painting. It is one thing that both myself and hubby are actually really, really happy with the way it turned out. We did feel it was dragging on for a little bit, you know, trying to get the design perfect, and there were some days that it had to be left alone because it was just the tweaking just wasn't quite getting there for some elements of it. But you know, it was a learning curve. Even the 3D printing has been a learning curve. It's not something that hubby had done before. But yeah, we're both extremely happy with how it's turned out, and it's really nice to hear that you guys like it too, because I love these trays now, and I will be allowing myself to have one of each and every colour. I think I might have to design some sort of holder for it soon, some way to hold all the designs that I have. Yeah, but thank you. Yoka, did you watch Eurovision this year? And if so, did you like it? I actually didn't watch it this year. Quite often with Eurovision, what colour am I on? I'm on E. With Eurovision, I used to like it when, I don't know if there's any UK people that know, when Terry Wogan used to do this sort of voiceover introduction in the UK for it. I found it was great. It can be quite political, which I can actually find quite entertaining. Many of the acts, well, most of the acts, if not all of the acts, are absolutely fantastic. And I do enjoy seeing, you know, all the different songs. I actually prefer when they're not all sung in English. I do like it when they do sing in their native language. I think, you know, a language, depending on how it's sung and what song it's sung to, can really showcase a language. But no, I actually didn't watch it this year. I've not had as much interest in it since Terry Wogan stopped, or was no longer sort of our host in the UK, but I have watched it a few times since then. It just depends. We were just really, really busy that day / evening, so I didn't get to put it on. And I think it's something that you either watch it when it was on, or you don't tend to watch it on catch up. But I did hear that we got no points. 0 point for the UK. But that's okay. We're used to being near the bottom. We normally would get a token 1 point from somebody, but that didn't happen this year. But hey ho, it's all good. Our guy did his best, and you know, I applaud anybody that has a go for the Eurovision. I really do. I think it is probably, for the UK anyway, for UK wise, it's probably the toughest competition that any of them could go in for at all. Lisa asked, what app did you use? So I use an app called Tiny Decisions on my iPhone, and that's what tells me what sort of square to pick. Now, I will say, which I didn't know when I did the video on the app that I use, but it is something that has been told to me since by people who use an Android phone. So if you use an Android phone, Tiny Decisions, it does not shine on an Android phone. There are some glitches in with it that mean it does not work as well as it should. I have had recommendations. People who use Android use the app called Decide. My memory card saved then, and I'm not sure if it got. So the app that people with Android use is called Decide Now, and apparently that works a lot better. So if you're on an Android-based phone, I recommend you use Decide Now. From the feedback I've had, if you're on iPhone or iPad, iOS, Tiny Decisions works great. And I really enjoy using it. I may have to see if I can get that Decide Now on Apple. And if I can, do a little bit of a run through on that one. Okay, I've got a couple that have just got a few. Let's see if I can pot dive. This all depends on whether my wax wants to play the game, but I don't think it does. So let's move them into the lid and see if I can pick them up from there. Apart from they're sticking to my fingers because the sun's come back in the UK. It disappeared. We had a bit of a cloudy day, but then it has come back full force and it has gone warm again. Warm, warm, warm. Okay, next question. Oh, Teresa, I'm not sure if I've said that right, I'm sorry. She does say she loves my channel. She lives in Victoria as well. And New South Wales is about 4 hours from them. Okay, I know that if my parents were to drive to Sydney, it would take them a day to drive to Sydney from where they are. But the country is a lot bigger than the UK. A lot bigger. It's probably like going from Scotland to London, probably, for them to go to Sydney. Which is why they fly. If they're going to go, they fly. Okay, so we've got some Z. This is our AB now. So I have put my ABs into the pots and have just moved the others into bags. So I've still got them and I will de-kit them when I de-kit all of this kit. But for now they're tucked into a bag out of the way so that I don't get confused on whether I'm using AB or not. I have decided for 820 I'm going to stick with the diamonds that are in this kit and just go for the plain A20. But I have gone for the other three in ABs. So I have still got 3 ABs. 2 blues, well I've got my white as well, so 4. 2 blues, a purple, and then I've got my white, which is a mixture of AB and glow in the dark, which is turning out to be a very nice glittery painting, as you can see, depending on the parts of the tree. Somebody did say they couldn't find hashtag 4kids@147 June 2021 on Instagram. That's my bad. I am sorry. I try my best to be better with social media. However, I'm not. I will either tend to remember to post in one or the other. And sometimes I will have a good couple of days on Instagram and then I will completely forget again. So that will be, while I did give that hashtag for people to be able to use, I personally myself have not used it. So I'm sorry. By all means, those that are on Instagram, use the hashtag that is in the description below and get that appearing on Instagram. I will try my best to remember to put my progress on Instagram so that you can all see it. I'm just really bad at finding the time for it. I think because I do work full time and I do this in sections, and I do my videos, if I don't remember to do stuff straight away, it doesn't happen. So at the moment, when I tend to finish filming a version of the Whip and Chat, I'm trying to make sure that I put it up on Facebook with the square that the decision wheel has decided, so that Australia, anybody in Australia who is doing the same square that I am and following the same pattern that I am, can still do theirs while it's daytime for them. Otherwise, by the time my video goes up, it's quite often the middle of the morning or the next day for them. It's just too late. They often watch my videos a day behind. I know my mum in Australia, she watches it a day behind, which is fine. They still have a video a day to watch. However, when we are doing something that is set for the day of the month, it means that they're still a day behind. And I want everybody everywhere to be able to join in. So I seem to, while I'm sorting out the video and uploading, I'm concentrating on getting the Facebook post and stuff on the group. And I completely forget to take a picture and post it on Instagram. So I will try better. I am sorry. Maybe I should make it Megan's job. She's better at Instagram than I am. If you follow Megan on Instagram, she posts a lot more than me. But I'm trying to improve where I can. Where I can, I will. Oh, somebody said thank you so much for your answers. So I must be getting to the point where I am on the questions where people have had answers given to them. And she watched the video on tips and tricks. She wasn't sure how she missed it. A lot of the tips and tricks and the videos that I have linked on my website. So if you go to 4kids@147.com, I do have a diamond painting videos section. In with that section is a lot of the videos that are not so much me de-kitting, kitting up. I do have playlists for those if you enjoy watching those. But it's more the little ones that can get lost in with everything else. So it is the hints and tips that people will ask for. It's my spare storage paintings. It's the comparisons I've done. So I was talking about different sizes and Alice in Wonderland. They're still extremely relevant and they're still helping diamond painters today. But they also can get a little bit lost in the whole YouTube list, especially when I post a video a day. They can get hidden. So the purpose of the website is to allow you to be able to filter for those key ones and not the just me kitting up a painting or de-kitting a painting or unboxing something. It's for you to find all that other stuff. So if you haven't had a look, do go over and have a look and check out those videos. Maybe it'll answer questions that you either didn't realise you had or answer questions that you've been looking for answers for. And so Emmy says she's just brought 2 Heaven and Earth design patterns, go girl, that I want to make with my spare diamonds. What shop would you recommend to buy the blank canvas for them? Ooh, I've had different experiences with both of my canvases. So the first one that I purchased, if you go to my Heaven and Earth design playlist, the first company that I purchased a blank canvas from was the better one of the two. I purchased a second blank canvas and the seller kept changing, you know, what the charge would be and trying to overcharge me stuff and trying to say, oh, it costs more to ship and all the rest of it. So I wouldn't recommend them. But if you go to the Heaven and Earth design playlist, near the beginning, there will be, I think there's just an unboxing of my canvas for my Heaven and Earth designs. And there will be a link in there to where I purchased it from. Others may be able to answer for you if they have purchased from somewhere in particular, or if you, and it was a year or so ago that I purchased from there. So there may be other sites that have been found since or have started offering them since. If you want the most up-to-date place to buy a blank canvas from, then you're actually probably best going to the Heaven and Earth Design diamond painting Facebook group, and they will, you know, pop the question, either search for the question because somebody's possibly asked it recently. If the post is too old, just pop the question up yourself and people will be more than happy to recommend based on their experience of canvas. But yeah, out of the 2 blank canvases I've had, I would go for the first seller that I used over the second one any day of the week. Oh, thank you that you like my cross stitch. Okay, how did you get your square drills so neatly lined up? Mine are all wonky. So a lot of lining it up on the canvas, a lot of it is practice. Now, some of these diamonds are easier to get lined up than others. So the ones I've added in, which is the ABs and the glow in the dark, so any of the 5200s, are a better sized diamond than the ones that actually come in the kit. The ones that come in the kit aren't the best size at all. I am having to place them quite squarely without particularly butting them up to each other. If I butt them up to each other fully, I would have big gaps at the edge of the diamond painting. Some of the colours are worse than others. The 820 is a pretty bad colour. It would have been nice to have liked the ABs enough to swap them out. These aren't great either. The ones that I'm using now, I can see that there are different size squares. So a lot of it with this is practice. I'm actually doing a mixture of trying to pick up the diamonds that are bigger when I see more of a gap forming. So I can see here that this one is quite a small one. It's got quite a big gap around it. So I'm trying to make sure that the bigger ones go near it. And I'm actually not butting them up to the next diamond. I'm trying to actually put them square in the middle. So there will be a gap around it. And if I had a light pad on, that gap would be very, very visible. Because I'm using my overhead studio lights, you can't see the gap as much. So a lot really does depend on what diamonds you're using. If you're using diamonds that fit into the square nice and butt up to each other nicely, then I always recommend the step method. I did a video a week or 2 ago on starting with a square diamond painting. And that's the method that I recommend you use. You can use the checkerboard method and that can work. But I do like the step method, which is basically like this now. And I just keep building up the steps as I go along. But most of it, I will say, is practice. It is just being used to doing squares. But if I had to give, or teach somebody or suggest to somebody their first square diamond painting to do, this winter tree probably wouldn't be it. I'd probably actually more go for the likes of an Ever Moment as a first square, because their squares do really click in nicely. They fit snug. They don't have this same gap. They fit snug like my ABs fit snug, not like the others do. There is a little bit more of a gap. I'm not sure if the camera is actually going to pick it up the same way you can see it in person. And that's why sometimes it's really hard to know what the quality of drills are like until you actually are using them, because they can be so few and far between. They can look fine, but when you actually start using them, you realise that they don't fit as snug as some others do, which is a shame. Oh, somebody likes the colours on block 24. Yes, or the blues and the sparkle. Somebody said they didn't know that ABs came in square. Yes, they do. Their rounds tended to be what was AB coated in the first instance. And it's one of the things that has changed as diamond painting has grown. As it's grown, there has been, you know, a few key changes that are nice. Squares have become a little bit more readily available than rounds, and the likes of the special diamonds for squares have become more popular. So you are now able to get AB diamonds in a lot more places than you could before. In fact, I'm pretty sure Margaret told me where she got them from. Oh, she did. The drills were from the Sophie Beauty store on AliExpress. So that's where Margaret picked these up from. Now, I have found if you go to AliExpress and then search for a store, they don't always pop up unless the store decides to use their name in the title. However, if you type into Google Sophie's Beauty store on AliExpress, it will take you to their store. That's the easiest way to find a specific shop on AliExpress, is to actually Google it to get you to be taken to it, unless it's already saved in your favourites. I've actually done a few things from Sophie's Beauty. I'm pretty sure that the 3 images that I have up in my craft room, 3 30 by 30 pictures framed in my craft room, were from Sophie's Beauty, if I've remembered rightly. But yeah, they're really, really nice drills. Oh, there we go. That actually asked the next question. Yes, it is so nice of Margaret to send them. Somebody did say, does Margaret sell them? And is she in the UK or the USA? No, she doesn't sell them. And she's not in either the US or the UK. She's actually down under. She is in Australia. I'm not sure what part, that's for her to say. But every now and then she does find something like these little ABs, these ABs and these glow in the dark. And she is so kind, and just all of a sudden she just messaged me and says there's something on its way. There's no stopping her, but I do really appreciate, you know, the little bit of extra sparkle that she's put into this diamond painting. Already with the glow in the darks and now with the ABs as well. I am really, really liking how some of these sections being an AB is looking. And it was well worth the time taking them off. Oh, somebody says that I'm excited to see what limited edition colours you'll have. So am I. I'm really excited when I get to actually start printing off another colour of diamond painting tray, because they all look different. And I change my mind on what's my favourite. So I always used to use the standard big tray that you could purchase off AliExpress. And it was just the big diamond painting tray. I used, of course, the small one that came with kits for a while, and then I went to the big one, which is why I think this doesn't feel too big to me, because I'm used to working with a big tray. And that was always white. And then I was gifted a 3D tray from Wilson's 3D Designs, which was awesome. Love the tray, and it was in dark grey. And it still really worked with pretty much every colour of diamond, bar grey. Then we brought out our design, which I love even more. And I flipped between using the grey and the pink. And then when we finally got some white printed, I now love using the white. So yes, I'm really excited for any limited edition colours. And I'm sure I'll be using them as soon as they are ready and available. And I'll be switching my colours yet again, because why not? That's half the fun. I'll change my pen and I'll change my tray. I have been known to use, you know, my pink tray and then actually change to the grey when I'm putting away a pink colour. When I'm, you know, if I've got pink in my design, I've been known to switch my tray so that the colour pops more, and I just keep flipping between them all. But hey ho. Right, so that is all the questions that I've got to for today. So do please still keep asking them. I'm working my way through each day, answering all the questions as I go. But yeah, I'm really, really liking that sparkle. I do need to remember to bring my clips back in out of the conservatory. But I'm liking how that is looking within the tree, and I think that's what I like. This is still glow in the dark though, so I do still have a little bit of something different. But we'll pop that there until tomorrow. I will pop details of Bella's diamond painting pens, who made this one but was gifted to me by Cindy. I'm losing it, people. I'm losing it. Right, it's because it's getting too warm in here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon.